FedEx says they deliver 15 million packages a day, but more precisely, it's 14.8 million in the US and 17 million if you include the globe. It's 170 packages every single second. They have over 440,000 employees. They have 100 sorting hubs around the world. They have over 90,000 delivery routes every single day. They have 700 aircraft. They have 175,000 motor vehicles. They are the largest logistics company in the world. But the numbers aren't the interesting part. The fascinating part is how they actually do this. How do they deliver 170 packages every single second? Most people, we think that shipping is simple. Well, you either drop your package off at a store or a driver comes and picks it up and then poof, it just shows up at the delivery location. But how? We're going to learn a little bit about that here. So where does your package actually go? Does it just go to the destination? Not so much. Most people drop off a package or have FedEx pick up, and they just assume that that package is headed straight as the crow flies to the destination. Well, in reality, that doesn't happen. It goes through a hub and spoke network. So next time you have a tracking link, click on it and see how many different touch points and how many different hubs your package went through to go from point A to B. And what you're going to find out is it's not A to B. It's A to B to C to D, and then maybe a zone skip to F, and then ultimately it's going to get to site Z. That's the reality of a package. And it's not just within the US, it's the same all across the world. That hub and spoke network is what makes FedEx so efficient. So I mentioned earlier that FedEx has over 90,000 delivery routes in the US. What does that actually mean? Well, before it even goes out for delivery, that local pickup is going to be dropped off at an origin hub. So the purpose of that hub is to consolidate freight from many different pickup locations in a major market or a regional market. And then line haul trucks are going to be established for a certain destination. To a non-logistics professional, it raises an immediate question though, which is pretty logical. Why would you send your package away from your current destination? Well, it's that hub and spoke network I mentioned. It's optimizing the entire whole versus optimizing the individual package. So what is a hub and spoke network exactly? Think about it this way. FedEx has thousands of local facilities all across the country. If 1,000 local facilities have to deliver to another 1,000, you're creating a massive spaghetti web across the US. No amount of resources could cover that level of network. So what do? Well, you optimize through central hubs. So instead of a massive spaghetti web, your package is going to flow through a central hub at some point. That is where the magic happens. That magic turns into automation and consolidation amongst millions of other packages, all going to a similar destination. In FedEx locations, they are strategically located. When we think of Memphis, Tennessee, it may not be the first destination that comes to mind for most of us, but in reality, it's 200 miles from the geographic center of the US population. It's where FedEx can most optimally serve their consumers and their customers all across the US. Their secondary location in Indianapolis, also very close to the geographic center of the US population. Every single night, something happens in Memphis, Tennessee. Starting around 11 p.m., hundreds of aircrafts will take aim at Memphis Airport. That is where all the FedEx planes from all across the US are coming back home to that Superhub to deliver all of those packages they picked up earlier that day. If you've ever been to Memphis Airport or even the Memphis area, every single night, you'll hear the roar of aircraft engines. And these are not passenger planes. These are all cargo planes, all for FedEx. Within a few hours, millions of packages are going to get offloaded, sorted, reloaded onto those same aircrafts, and they're going to head outbound to their destinations all across the world. The Superhub, well, it's 940 acres. It has 84 miles of conveyor belts and 13,000 people working throughout the night. And the whole thing can process 484,000 packages every single hour. This Superhub has not been static. Investment and innovation continues to happen. In 2024, FedEx put in a 6-sided scanning system that reads barcodes and dimensions of packages simultaneously, all while rapidly moving to consolidate, to load, and then head out on its destination in the morning. This Superhub, albeit extremely automated, things do go wrong. Think of it as the centralized nerve system of their network for all of the Memphis operations. This is a critical component to keep conveyor systems running, handle exceptions, and any curveball that's thrown can get addressed on the fly and keeping their customer satisfaction at the highest levels. And Memphis continues to grow for FedEx. They're adding on Project Hercules, which is a 1.6 million square foot operation. It just shows you that Memphis continues to serve the greater population. So with hundreds of aircrafts every single night and every single morning, it makes you wonder, how do you sort that many packages without collapsing the system? So the sorting system in Memphis, the Superhub, but also at their secondary hub in Indianapolis, that's how the magic happens. It's how speed and efficiency is delivered all across the network. So while planes are coming in every single night, as they're taking off and going through the sorting machines, those six-sided scanners, they're scanning the barcodes and the dimensions, and in seconds, they're deciding exactly where that package needs to be routed. And then through the material handling system and those sort systems, they're funneled to different loading areas. That way, those same aircraft that dropped off can now be loaded on with hundreds of thousands of packages to go to its next point in its journey. That whole process, it can happen in less than 15 minutes. It's how FedEx can guarantee overnight delivery. And although I've talked a lot about Memphis and the Superhub, the reality is FedEx has other major hubs like Indianapolis, which I mentioned. So Indianapolis can handle 2 million packages per day and over 180 flights per day. That same inbound and outbound motion in Memphis is replicated in Indianapolis. So if a massive weather system rolls through the Tennessee area and Memphis is shut down, don't worry, Indianapolis is right there to step in and keep those packages moving. It's a reason why guaranteed deliveries can happen, not just in a local area, but across the entire network. So once the packages are sorted and they need to get across the country, across the world, this is where FedEx Advantage really comes into play. To put into context, FedEx Express, which is the air network of FedEx, it's a $42 billion annual revenue business. It covers 375 destinations in 220 countries. So the plane lands at your local facility, well, I still need the product at my door. And here's the thing that surprises most people about FedEx. It's not actual FedEx employees that are delivering the product. It's a group of independent service providers, or ISPs, that FedEx relies on to meet those deliveries. These are entrepreneurs. They're people that live in our community that run their own business. They run a fleet of trucks, maybe 5 to 25, and they'll have anywhere from 75 to 125 stops per day. Those stops, well, it's going to deliver hundreds to thousands of packages. It all is dependent on the demand of what happens each day. They're small business owners, like many of us, and it's a key part of that delivery network for that final mile. And while FedEx is the mother brand, they have different child brands as well. You have FedEx Express, which those drivers are employees, and you have FedEx Ground, which relies on ISPs. So keep that in mind. As you think of the overall FedEx brand, the underlying operation and the network of how it operates does vary. So everything we've talked about till now, normal operation, business as usual. Right? We talked about 15 million packages per day. But what if normal doesn't occur? Maybe there's a disaster. Maybe there's a massive weather event. Or better yet, we've got a demand surge. Think of when we love to shop, Cyber Weeks. FedEx doesn't make up packages, right? It's all based on demand that we buy and our businesses buy. So what happens if it's not 15 million packages per day? What if it's 22 million? That massive surge? Well, that clearly is not normal. So when Cyber Weeks happen and you see a 35 to 45% increase in those same hubs, on those same planes, on those same ISPs, what happens? Do you just push harder? Do you change? Do you flood in contractors? What do you do? Well, FedEx's network is designed to flex. They have capacity planning. They're able to handle the surge in demands. They also have redundancy. So next time you ship a package on FedEx, think about how many other millions of packages are going through that same network. If you're getting a discount online, that's great, but maybe FedEx is going through a 40% surge at that same time. It'll make you appreciate that freight just doesn't show up at your door. There's key systems, investment, innovation in logisticians that are helping keep our community safe, fed, and keeping the product that we want on our shelves. So now that you know that FedEx delivers 15 million packages per day and over 22 million in peak times, but they're not the only one that does incredible things either. Coca-Cola, well, they reach billions. Over 2 billion drinks served every single day. Whether it's vending machines, rural communities, cafeterias, restaurants, businesses, you name it, Coca-Cola brings drinks all across the world. Click this video link here because I'm breaking down exactly how Coca-Cola does it and the secret sauce to their logistics operation. I'll see you there.